Aston Villa have just won by 1-0 at St Mary's after two ridiculous VAR decisions have cost Southampton 3 points in this game. The first one in the first half, a blatant handball by Matty Cash in the 6 yard box, and the second in the 93rd minute of the game, Danny Ings judged to be offside despite clearly being in line with the defender. It's gotten to the point now where VAR is an absolute shambles. It's an absolute shambles, and I have been an advocate for VAR even up until today, I suppose, because it does offer some sense of clarity amongst these refereeing decisions, and there have been quite a few they've gotten right in the past. But today, for me, has just it's kind of tipped me over the edge. This system has the potential to make this sport almost flawless. It has the potential to make the sport like rugby. No decision is criticized, is petitioned, is called wrong in rugby. Cricket, they get everything right. Tennis, they get everything right. But for some reason, football is the only sport where they can't seem to do this, and it's epitomized in the Premier League, which is supposed to be the best league in the world. In Germany they get some wrong, in Italy, in Spain they get some wrong. They're going to get them wrong, but never have I seen such consistent and idiotic decisions made by officials who are supposed to be the best in the world. Lee Mason on that pitch tonight doesn't deserve as much of the blame as Mike Dean in the VAR studio for this Southampton game. The first penalty, the Matty Cash intentionally slaps the ball away from goal. It's not going in, fair enough, but the ball is on target and he slaps it away. The second one, Danny Ings is onside. They measured from his sleeve, which fair enough is the rule. But what happened to the 120 years of football before VAR was brought in when level was onside? What has happened to that? What has happened to benefit a doubt to the attacker? What's happened to level is onside? What's happened to trying to actually have goals in the game? The first real thing we saw VAR was the 2018 World Cup, and it was just penalty after penalty after penalty being given. And we thought, look, fair enough, it's not the best system, but it's bringing us more excitement, it's bringing us more goals. All VAR brings to the Premier League is hope that your decisions are going to be made fairly and made right. Southampton there, when they see that the replay of that handball by Matty Cash, think it gives you hope. And these idiots make the most ridiculous decisions. I don't know how anybody can look at those decisions made in that Southampton game tonight and not think it's a penalty in the first half and it's a good goal in the second half. It's absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, I've been an advocate for VAR the whole way through, from when it was first used in the Confederations Cup in 2017, even back when the idea was first kind of brought into the public sphere, when it was used in the Premier League. They got decisions wrong, and yet they're going back on their own guidelines. One week we're hearing the referee is told not to put their flag up for offside. The next week we're hearing they're supposed to put it up, but the referee doesn't call the game up. And that leads to confusion that cost West Brom a goal against Manchester City last week. Offside is supposed to be the attacker has a clear and obvious advantage. Yet you're trying to tell me Rodri against West Brom had less of an advantage for that goal that was eventually scored by Bernardo Silva than Heung-min Son did against Liverpool for his goal that was ruled out in the 4th minute. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Son, by the letter of the law, was offside. But not only is VAR the problem, the laws are a problem. We're trying to put definitive guidelines on what offside is and what handball is, and it's simply not possible. You can have 100 offsides, 100 of them be 99% similar, but that 1% difference could be the thing that sways the decision towards onside and offside. It is absolutely ridiculous. The amount of guidelines, the amount of directives that have been given against VAR for handballs, it's below the shoulder, it has to be intentional. If it's in the build-up to a goal, it's accidental, that counts. But actually now that's not the case. They're changing every single day. And we're at the point where fans don't know, players don't know, and worst of all, the referees do not know what the rules are. The referees are not good enough, the laws are not clear enough, and VAR is an absolute shambles. I've actually had enough of it, and I've never called for VAR to be scrapped, but after this game tonight, and look, I've no affiliation with Southampton at all. I've no sort of biased input on this game. It's simply from a Premier League fan point of view, from a football fan point of view, this is insanely ridiculous. And VAR it's just I've had enough of it. And looking at the comments on Twitter tonight, I think everybody is the same. It's not good enough. The Premier League are embarrassing themselves. The referees are embarrassing themselves. And people said VAR was brought in because you don't want to debate about refereeing decisions. You want to talk about the football. You want the teams to deserve to win the game, to get the right decisions to win the game. And it's just gone the complete opposite way. Referees are now afraid to make the important decisions because there's someone sitting in a studio in London that will do it for them. But little do they know, the person in that studio is an idiot and doesn't know how to do it. They're just scared to make these decisions. I think if there's no VAR tonight, Lee Mason gives that penalty for the handball and Matty Cash. It is that obvious. But he hasn't made the decision because it's easier for him to let that go and to have, I think it was Mike Dean back in Stockley Park, make the decision. And it's just gone beyond the point of even having an argument to defend VAR. You know, you can even go back to Aston Villa and they had with the goal line technology last season. Fair enough, that was one little blip in the system. But VAR is consistently getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and nobody knows what it is. Last season, they said you can't change a law in the middle of the season, so they had to carry on the way they had it the whole way through. Yet this season, they've changed the handball law 3 or 4 times. They changed the offside rule after the incident with Rodri and Bernardo Silva against West Brom. Nobody knows what's happening. Nobody knows, and especially the officials do not know, and it's ruining the sport that we all love. And I've just had enough of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. Put down in the comments below your opinion on VAR, and I apologise for this 6-minute rant, but after watching this from Southampton, I just had to get it off my chest. It is a joke. It's an absolute joke, and it just needs to be fixed. It needs to either be fixed and be used the way they use it in other leagues, or just scrap it. We saw it being used in the World Cup in 2018. We saw it being used in the Bundesliga in the 2018-2019 season. Yet for some reason, they took a system that was working and tried to change it, tried to better it, but they've completely ruined it. And VAR, unless they use the guidelines that have been given by FIFA, the guidelines that have been used in other leagues, it has to go. And it's as simple as that. Yeah, just put down in the comments below your opinions on the whole situation. If you have enjoyed this video, I don't actually laughing that I'm doing this at the end of this video, but click the like button if you have enjoyed it, and subscribe if you do want more from the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.